The more contagious Delta variant of the coronavirus has spread across the Philippines, bringing the death toll to a 4-month high. The country has seen more than 29,000 deaths and nearly 1.7 million infections. In an attempt to slow the spread of COVID, the capital Manila has been placed under the tightest quarantine curbs as residents fight for two things they badly need right now: a vaccine and economic assistance.
Thank you for tuning into the Black Skull Show. I'm your host, the Black Skull, coming to you from an undisclosed location in the middle of nowhere, but going somewhere fast. I want to welcome all of my listeners who have been following me on TikTok, and also all the new listeners who are new to the program and the content. I want to welcome you. If this is your first time tuning in or hearing the content that I have, I mainly deal with giving advice to foreign men who want to travel to the Philippines and Southeast Asia looking for love. Many foreigners go to these countries looking for love, but what they end up finding is often women there who are trying to take advantage of them and to get into their pockets. So we cover many of these topics and what to look out for if you're going to travel there to find you a girlfriend or a wife. We cover topics such as romance scams and how to avoid them. We also cover different local cultural topics that may affect you if you travel to places like the Philippines or Thailand or Vietnam or anywhere in Southeast Asia. The majority of my experience has been the Philippines, so you'll hear me talk about the Philippines more than any place in Southeast Asia. The content that I have on TikTok is in a shorter format and gives some advice in an entertaining manner. This show here will be more of a long format, and we'll have special guests come on. And most of all, it's designed to hear your experiences. What have you been through as a foreigner traveling in the Philippines or in Asia? What did you have to go through looking for romance? I want to hear what you have to say. So if you're interested in being on the show, I want you to email me at blackskullnetwork@gmail.com. So if you have an interesting story that you think the rest of the world needs to hear and can help someone, once again, email me at blackskullnetwork@gmail.com. So for our first guest, we have John from Texas, and he wants to give his experience when he first went to the Philippines. So John, the floor is yours. I want you to share with our audience what exactly happened to you when you first went to the Philippines. I want to hear your experience.
Well, I don't actually know where to begin. I guess the beginning wouldn't hurt. I was privileged to leave Iraq, where I figured I'd take a vacation, and entering that country, that 7,100 island country, what I experienced was kind of rather shocking. Third world environment. I'd never been to one really, and it was very distasteful initially. I didn't like the environment, the smell, the atmosphere, the whole layout kind of took me aback. Moving forward, I found it to be a rewarding experience. I got to meet a lot of different type of people, from all walks of life, but mainly Filipino. I would learn that there are like four different main sections of the country. Northern, southern, and the central. You have a lot of the Hispanics type of um, Filipinos who were inculcated and grafted into the Hispanic um, geno, if you will. And then you had the Asiatic Filipinos from the World War II, the Japanese who literally invaded Pearl Harbor, but they would actually go to the Philippines to take it over. And during that time in their stay there, they mixed up the people as well. So the cultural mix um, was really interesting to observe. I noticed that there are three classes as a result of the historical backdrop from America's influence, European influence overall, that they seem to be a bit not only mixed but different in their ideologies, how they engage one another in a three-class system. I don't know if that typecast was something that was generally um, initiated by the Europeans, but definitely that class structure sort of divided the people even to this day. I'd also learned that the eating habits and the things that they ate, one could find distasteful initially, but if you get hungry enough, it can become really interesting to sample some of the types of food that they prepare and the way they prepare it. So um, I guess that would be good for starters, but it was pretty much a good experience. Learned a lot. Reiteration, I got to know some of the mayors of the cities, and I began to explore certain communities. I got to fly to the once capital of Cebu, of the Philippines, which was called Cebu. Used to be the main capital there until they changed it up and put it in Manila after the Marcos was taken down, I believe.
Okay, Ferdinand Marcos, yeah.
Yeah. But it was a good experience. It was a good learning experience. I found it very interesting.
So tell me, John, how was it when it comes to dating the women? Did you meet any nice women while you were there that caught your eye?
Well, I found women to be very pedagogic. Pedagogic. They were very eager to meet you. They like all kinds of Americans. They're non-discriminate, to say the least. They didn't care. But I found them to be very shy initially until they warm up to you. Other than that, it's free for all. They were very open, very nice, very congenial, very liking and lovable. And I found them to be very attractive and respectful.
Okay. Did you have any bad experiences while you were there that you want to share?
Wouldn't be life without them. Life would not be life without bad experiences of some kind.
True.
Yes, I had to run in with a couple player haters, if you will, if I could use that term. Bad guys who really were constantly jealous of you because their women were attracted to you.
Makes
And
sense.
maybe it's because we're just American, but they were definitely attracted to you. And as a result, you found a lot of jealousy, easy jealousy.
Oh wow. So what type of things did they do to like show that they were jealous?
Attitude, disposition, things they say, that sort of thing. It was really obvious to see. they would be so angry in some cases. I had a doorman one time who saw me come in with a couple of girls, not back to back. He decided he would spill the beans on me. Spill the beans. That's an expression, huh? Yeah, he would tell every woman that came in before I came down to pick them up when they drove up
Oh,
in the taxi.
yeah.
He would be sure to let them know that he saw another girl come to my house a couple of days ago
Wow.
or a week. I mean, he's always sure to tell. He was sure to tell in his language, in his ugly dispositional behavior.
So he was basically telling off on you, snitching on you that you had other guests there.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And of
So,
course, I had to say, yeah, they did come to my place,
huh.
but they didn't stay long. It was a nice meeting. That was it. But that's a minor. That's a minor a bad thing. I think the worst thing that happened to me once is that I was mistaken for someone that the police was looking for.
Oh, wow.
He had given he had given a girl given he had given about maybe 10 women. He was an African. HIV. And
Oh, no.
they were looking for him. And I said, how could anyone look like me, as ugly as I am? Oh, boy. They said, well, we just want to make sure, sir, we're not accusing you of anything. It turned out to be funny, and I got to know the police officers. It was good.
Wow. I'm sure that was an interesting experience.
It was very interesting, to say the least. Actually, I wasn't anticipating that, and I hear that if you're ever arrested in a foreign country, particularly the Philippines or somewhere like South America, they don't take too kind to foreigners.
True. True. Yeah, the jails there are no places you want to go.
No, they put you in jail, and throw the key away. Really?
Yeah, it is true. The Filipino jails are definitely overpopulated, and as a foreigner, you don't want to end up in a Filipino jail. All right. I appreciate your information, John.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure talking to you.
All right, you too, sir. Take care now.
I always enjoy hearing the perspective of others and what they've been through when traveling in the Philippines and in other parts of Asia. I can relate to one thing that he said, though, about the security guards. They are extremely nosy in the Philippines. I remember in the condos that I stayed in, the security guards would always try to say something to the female guest that I brought to my place for a visit. I'll take it a step further. They put a security camera right in front of my door so they could sit in their office and watch whoever came through my door to visit me. But that's a whole nother story. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Black Skull Show. We'll see you next time.